Item: SCP-1830. Code name: The Guardian Projection. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-1830-A is located in a custom-built 12 m x 12 m x 4 m medical containment cell in Sector 07. A perimeter of 5 m radius, centering on SCP-1830-A, is marked with a red line to indicate SCP-1830-B's area of appearance. A medical team should attend to SCP-1830-A's treatment on a daily basis. Should SCP-1830-A recover from the comatose state, one psychotherapist specialized in autistic spectrum disorders and post-traumatic stress disorder should be added to the team. This member must speak fluent Cantonese. During treatments, one member of security staff must be present outside the perimeter. Such arrangement exists not due to any threat from SCP-1830-B's part, but solely to reduce surprise caused by its sudden appearance. All personnel must be exposed to at least 3 sightings of SCP-1830-B before taking their posts. Any request to utilize SCP-1830-A for medical training on comatose treatment should be made in Form 1830-MT and delivered to Sector 7's Site Director. Description: SCP-1830-A, formerly Loong, is an Asian male, currently 16 years old. At the time of containment, the subject is 1.6 meters in height and weighs 51 kilograms. SCP-1830-A has been in comatose state since being victimized in a criminal assault in the public estate, Hong Kong. Examination found extensive contusions on the head, arms and trunk. Incised wounds, carved into derogatory phrases in traditional Chinese characters, are found on the pelvis and inner thighs. Prior to containment, SCP-1830-A studied in Form 51 at the secondary school. Interviewees in the school described the subject as an unsociable person, who frequently displayed bizarre behaviors such as sharp hisses and convulsive nods. Some interviewees attribute this to SCP-1830-A's diagnosis of Asperger syndrome. It is unclear whether these behaviors were coping mechanisms against difficult circumstances in school, neglect on the part of the subject's sole parent, or related to SCP-1830-B. See Wiki for full access to content of SCP-1830-A's school bag found on scene. SCP-1830-B is a visual phenomenon that manifests within 5 meters of SCP-1830-A. The duration of SCP-1830-B's appearance varies from 15 to 60 minutes, after which it vanishes on the spot. When movement is made, SCP-1830-B's visibility becomes inversely proportionally related to the distance from SCP-1830-A, with complete disappearance occurring at 5 meters. On each manifestation, SCP-1830-A's brain activity shows a sharp increase. Correlations have been found between peaks of brain activity and violent, desperate gestures on the part of SCP-1830-B. The prevalent theory is that SCP-1830-B is a projection from SCP-1830-A's mind. SCP-1830-B can manifest alternatively in 2 humanoid forms. 3. Ludwig, a middle-aged Caucasian male with the appearance of a WW1-era German soldier in the Sturmtruppen formations. 4. Ling Kuo, an Asian male who appears to be in his late 20s, with the appearance of a Chinese soldier in the National Revolutionary Army circa 1930s. See Wiki for full to SCP-1830-B's activities. Several activities involve SCP-1830-B utilizing weapons in a direction not facing SCP-1830-A. This is physically harmless, due to the entity's non-corporeal nature, and it does not produce sound. No mental effects except for surprise are found after SCP-1830-B or its weaponry passes through human subjects. During subsequent tests, blindfolded subjects showed no awareness of such contact until being notified afterward. SCP-1830 was brought to the Foundation's attention when an undercover agent embedded in the Hong Kong Police Force, HKPF, noticed reports of anomalous sightings at the crime scene, and SCP-1830A's emergency warden witnessed testimony. Under pretext of patient transferal, SCP-1830A was transported from the local hospital to Sector 07. SCP-1830A's limited social circle smoothed disinformation efforts considerably. The 4 suspects, arrested by local police on scene, were released after administration of Class A amnestics. Excerpts of interview with SCP-1830A's mother. Do you know much about your son's school life? I don't. It's hard enough to deal with daily living, you know. Many times, he came home with a few bruises, or some buttons missed, or some ball pen strokes on his uniform. He never talked about it. We never talked anyway. He just dropped his head, dodged my gaze, and walked to his room like I was not here. I used to call him out for that, sometimes a beating or denied him dinner, but as he grew older I just couldn't be bothered. What did he do in his room? Who knows? Slaving on his computer like every post-90s 5, I guess. I heard chatter from his room. Perhaps he did chat with friends online, after all. Do you know those friends? Note: subsequent inspection found no peripheral capable of vocal chat on SCP-1830A's custom-built desktop. Ms. Ng shows limited knowledge of computer technology. Well, honestly I don't know much about his circle. But sometime he talks pretty loud, so I did hear something. One of them is called Ling Kuo. Sometime I heard him spill his guts with all those self-worthless talks, and, you know, it's really rare to hear him talk that much to other people. They must be close friends. After a while I heard another name. That's a foreigner name. Can't remember it. Did he talk differently with that other friend? Very different. He never spoke angrily before, but with him he did. I overheard him growling, uttering words like butcher them, burn alive, die die die. Sometimes he muttered something like that's how you use a gun, and a bunch of other probably military terms. He likes that stuff, you know. His room's lined with books about jets and guns. Do you know this person? Interviewer produces a photograph of SCP-1830B Ling Kuo. What the? Where did you get it? Is that what he keeps with himself every day? That's Ling Kuo. You're kidding. That's his dad. Excerpts of interview with eyewitness. Please describe what you saw. Okay. I was taking a smoking break from my tea restaurant. It was 5 p.m. I think, when I heard shouts from that soccer yard behind the school. There were 5 of them, all in school uniforms. 4 of them were pushing this little boy into the yard. He was stumbling back, then someone punched him hard and he fell. That's how I saw his face. Someone squatted down and fingered his cheeks. Then this bully with buck teeth took his eyeglasses. He tried to take them back, but they just pressed him on the ground. Go on. One of them grabbed a blade then sawed on his belt. It must have been pretty rough because that boy was jerking and moaning. He didn't even cry for help, just turned his head away and let the tears fall. They threw away his pants and underwear, irrelevant redacted, scolding, and poking, with that knife. That boy, his face, it was like. Interrupting. On the phone you have mentioned an unnatural occurrence. Can you describe that? Yeah, I am getting to that. There was this. Smoke appeared out of thin air somewhere behind them. It moved closer to the group, and its shape became more defined. Then I found myself looking at a big soldier. Can you describe him? E. He's a blonde Westerner, wearing this gray uniform and carrying a long gun. He unslung and trained it on the bullies. That boy was staring at him. He stopped resisting even when those bullies kept wrecking him. They weren't facing there. They didn't even know what was coming. And he fired. What happened? E. Nothing. Nothing at all. I saw the flash but it was completely silent. Yes, I was covering my ears but I should have still heard the bang. Someone should have been shot, right? But no, those guys were still jerking the boy as if nothing had happened. That soldier cocked his gun, and shot again, and again, but it just didn't work. Maybe he's frustrated or something. He pulled out this bayonet and attached it on the rifle. The next thing I saw, he was charging at them. His mouth was wide open but I didn't even hear anything. He thrusted it into the buckteeth's back. I saw that bayonet stick out from his chest, but guess what? That sick fuck just kept carving pictures on the boy's flesh as if nothing happened. That soldier stabbed for several more times in vain. Then he faded into thin air. What about the boy? He finally cried. See Wiki for full access to drawing found in Mathematics Notebook. Footnotes. 1. Equivalent to grade 12 in North American education system. 2. Hong Kong Certificate of Education Examination. 3. Both names were found in SCP-1830A's personal effects. No last names were found. 4. Cross-references between this name and facial appearance with personnel archives of the Imperial German Army have yet to produce result. 5. A term used in Hong Kong slang, equivalent to Generation Y in the West.